Once I started doing it consistently, I was like, it's too easy. I need more, like anybody else. So I went in and started trading more contracts, and then realized $17,000 a week, that jobs are now obsolete and stupid to me. I mean, why would I want to work when I can do this? So I started trading even more. I didn't have a direction as to where I wanted to go. Now let's contrast that with how I started. November 5th, 1992. Thursday evening at 9 o'clock in my aunt's family room, I cracked open that lame book by Ken Roberts, and that's not to be disrespectful, but I thought that I had figured it all out. That simple little book was going to do it for me. All it did was give me the fire to start doing it. But I had a direction. I had a goal. What was the goal? If I could make $1,000 a month and save that, by the time I'm 40, I'll have $1 million. And honestly, I didn't understand the effects of inflation. I didn't think about all those things. I just wanted to have $1 million, because back then, $1 million, that was really something. $1 million is nothing now. Homes cost that now, and they're not even really worth it. Period. Okay. A lot of people out there on social media saying, I got $1 million house. No, you have a house that's overpriced. Okay. And the home that I purchased that I'm speaking to you in right now, I paid $638,000 for. Is it worth it? No. They're saying I could get $750,000 for it now. Is it worth it? No. So $1 million is not a lot of money. But in the beginning, when I sat down that Thursday evening at 9 o'clock, at the completion of reading that book, because I read it from cover to cover, I couldn't put it down. Before I went to bed, I had pen and paper out, and I'm calculator crazy, clicking the buttons. Okay, if I do this, if I do that. You know what I'm talking about. You've done it too. You're sitting in your job. You're sitting there bored. Over the weekend, you can't wait to start trading. Okay, if I go in, I get 10 pips this day. I get 10 more pips over here. And you're nodding your head, you're smiling, you're laughing. You know exactly what it is. You're calculator crazy. Okay, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But as soon as you start saying, I want to make millions and millions of dollars in your first year, that's stupid. But what I was doing was I was coming up with a way where if I just did the lowest objective and say with losing trades, and I eke out a net gain of $250 a week, that's $1,000 a month. That's obviously taking an effect for taxation and commissions. So I was preparing myself to have adversity. I was preparing myself to be imperfect. And I had structure to what I was doing, why I was trading. I'm trying to eke out a net gain after all costs and taxation of $250 a week. Now, there's an average of 4.3 weeks per month. Not every month has just 4 weeks. Some of them have 5. But I did the math simply on 4 weeks, $250 a week. So that would give me my $1,000. And I was going to stick to that. I was going to work a job. I don't care, because when I turn 40, I'm not going to be working for the man. I'm not going to be doing those things everybody else does. The structure of me doing that, once I started making money, I abandoned it. So in other words, when you have a vision, you have a plan for your future, it's best to obviously write it down. Write it down so that way it's codified and you know this is what you're aiming for. Something strange happens. There's a metamorphosis that occurs when you start making consistent money. Everything goes out the window. It's like casino time. You lose all aspirations for being structured about everything you're doing. You're just saying, well, let's just see what happens if I do this many contracts and I try to hold for this much. Something's changed, not for the better. So over years, looking back and looking at journal entries and the times where I struggled and the times where I had epiphanies where it felt like I was really gaining in my understanding, it was when I was referring back to having structure in the way I was trading. Not in the sense that optimal trade entries or order blocks in their infancy, none of those types of things. I'm talking about the structure of what it is I'm doing as a trader.